so much. You may be seated. Let's move to the next item. Welcome remarks by the Honorable MEC for Community Safety and Transport Management, Ntate Vessels Moray. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director, the Mayor of Moses Kotane, Councillor Nkotswe. Let me greet the Honorable Minister, Minister Macpherson, and greet the Honorable Premier of the Northwest, Premier Lazarus Mokgosi. I saw the Mayor of Ramotshere, Councillor Pitso, and all councillors present here today, just to be on the safe side, to say all protocol observed. Just over 2.5 years ago, on the 29th of August 2023, the terminal building of this airport, it was gutted by fire. Thankfully, there were no fatalities or any injuries. Since then, this airport was not fully functional except for occasional charter flights within our limited resources. Some work was done to ensure we continue to provide services, albeit the limited challenges of resources. As you can see, Honorable Minister Macpherson and the Honorable Premier, the need far exceed our financial capability as department. We however, never gave up, and despite all these challenges, we went on to do what we could with the stringent challenge of the limited resources, like I've already alluded. Honorable Minister, airports today are not only building saving as facilities that enable air travel but are rapidly evolving into critical economic engines. The modern airports do not only act as a local catalyst for trade and tourism and industrial growth, but also economic arteries for regional corridors. This therefore means the non-functionality of this airport not only impede on the regional growth, but also standard economic development of this province. It is for this that, to us as the department that manages the airports in the province, this day is not just a passing day, but a historical milestone. Today's significant MOU signing is a further indication of what President Ramaphosa said in his State of the Nation address last week, and I quote, the infrastructure development will continue to play a critical role in delivering services to our people, close quote. His Excellency went on and said, open quote, infrastructure is more than an investment into brick, mortar, and concrete steel. It is an investment in jobs, productivity, and growth. For many years, fixed investment has been declining. We are now changing that, close quote. One day, the future of our country will remember with fondness today's milestone that will certainly give young people opportunities in aviation industry. Honorable Premier, mine was to welcome everyone into this province. This province produces about 94% of South Africa's platinum production. The mining sector in this industry, in this district, continues to contribute about 22% of the entire country's mining industry. As father of our nation, President Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, progress and developments are dependent on well thought out decisions. Every councillor needs to ask him or herself, have I made the difference to the quality of the life of our people, close quote. As I take this opportunity, Honorable Minister and the Premier, to welcome everyone into this province of Bokone-Bophirima, you are therefore welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MEC, for those wonderful welcome remarks. Very informative. Let us now move to item number 3, outline of the collaborations, MOUs. This one is going to be laid forward to us by Head of ISA, Ms. Mamezi Masemola.
Your Excellencies and my political principals today, the Premier, the minister, the MECs, the executive mayors, as well as Mokgosis that are present here, my colleagues in the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, as well as Infrastructure South Africa, and the Northwest Province. Let me briefly outline ISA's work and how it connects with the signing of the MOUs today. So we are mandated by Cabinet and by national government to do three things, and three things only. The first one is to develop and prepare and package viable infrastructure projects. And the Johannesburg Airport, International Airport project is one of those. We know that a significant number of projects, they fail to materialize because of poor planning and packaging. And so we are mandated to work with the project sponsor. In this case is the Northwest Province, provincial government, to develop this major infrastructure project for the country. A second focus of our work is around improving project delivery. A number of projects, again, construction starts, but those projects are not finished on time and are not finished on budget. We are, again, working with the project sponsor to make sure that those projects are delivered on time and on budget, those projects that are being supported by Infrastructure South Africa. We really we have built sufficient capacity in ISA through our Technical Services Office, or the infrastructure delivery component of Infrastructure South Africa, to be able to work with the project sponsor to deliver these projects accordingly. Thirdly, we are mandated to work on what we call, or improving ease of doing business. Many projects, before they get off the ground, they require so many permits, licenses, authorizations, that regulatory body, that municipality this, that provincial government must do X, Y, Z. And we're enabling all of that because our law, yeah, there's a bit of, Premier just shows that we need to have robust infrastructure, you know. Even as the wind comes, it's blowing away our infrastructure. So we'll make sure we'll have robust infrastructure for this airport. Yes, winds of change. I like that, yes. Maybe the winds of change are sweeping in. And so we've consistently worked with the projects that are registered with Infrastructure South Africa to unlock funding, to make sure that these permits and licenses are being secured, and that enables these projects to be implemented with vigor and with speed that is required. Of course, none of this is possible without partnerships, without the provincial governments to national government departments to funding institutions ranging from pension funds to multilateral development banks, commercial banks, institutional investors, and so on. We really work with them hand in glove to deliver on this pipeline of projects that government has set in place. In terms of the Johannesburg International Airport itself, the context of our entry point to this is the fact that we're going to be working with the province to develop, to prepare, and package the project properly, ensuring that we identify the funding pathways for these projects, and to make sure that it really truly serves as a catalyst for tourism growth, for regional connectivity, and for economic activity in the province. Coming to Ramotshere, Moiloa local municipality, the president of the country, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, directed the minister and therefore Infrastructure South Africa to work with a sample of municipalities in the country across the entire value chain. So from preparing the project, raising funding for these projects, and also implementing these projects. So we've identified 4 municipalities in South Africa. Ramotshere Moiloa, of course, we'll speak to that now in the province. There's Metsimaholo in Free State, Governing Mbeki in Mpumalanga, and Umgeni local municipality in KZN. These municipalities have been identified because one, they are relatively stable, they have improving audit outcomes, they are Ramotshere. So they have been identified as such because ISA cannot work with dysfunctional municipalities. It's not our job, it's not our mandate to turn around municipalities that are completely failing. The Ramotshere Moiloa has been identified as one of those municipalities that we will give dedicated, full-time, permanent support to over the next 24 months. And so we're going to be focusing on project identification, the work that we've done in the past 4 months or so. We have now finalized procurement in terms of transactional advisors that are going to work with us on developing and packaging these projects so that we can raise funding for these projects, and the municipality can then work with Infrastructure South Africa on the procurement and the construction of the assets. In there, we're focusing on water and sanitation projects, energy and electricity, as well as waste management. As I close, Premier, I did say this to you in the briefing session before this main venue, that we are grateful for your leadership. You said to us last year when we met with you at the Premier's Infrastructure Coordinating Council meeting that you will be making sure that the province at large is working with Infrastructure South Africa, partnering with us, collaborating with us on major infrastructure investments. So those high value, high impact projects, and we're very grateful that it's culminating in today's signing of the MOUs to signal that political commitment, to also signal the technical capacity that we'll be bringing on board to support the MEC, the HOD in the delivery of this project, and also the projects in Ramotshere Moiloa. With that, let me hand over to you, Madam Program Director. Thank you.
Another very informative speech. We all know that the Triple P is there. She elaborated much on that one. Before re ka ya go kgakala ke bue ka segaetsho ke re ka sega rona ra re moja morago ke kgosi Brett o tla ba tlhalosetsa gore ka reng ka sega rona moja morago ke kgosi mo gare ga rona in the northwest ga gona se re se dira re sena magosi mo gare ga rona rena le kgosi Mabalane ga nka ke ka ra emelle ka gore ga ke a rua unless mongwe a ntshepisa gore re ka re ga tloga fara molaisetsa molusi a re laisetsa sengwe mo koloing sa mosala morago re na le mo gare ga rona re kgosi Mabalane go tswa ka fa Phirikafa. He's not only here for go tswa ka fa Phirikafa or for not only Moses Kotane but the whole province ke ka mo re nang le ene for mosongwa go ipu Kirle Brett o tla ira di fertaleng. Thank you. Let's move to the next item. From the private sector, ke the Triple P again. CEO Sun International, Mr. Hugh Bankston. Over to you, sir.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you detect a slight accent, I'm Swedish. And as such, I sincerely apologize for not knowing all the words of your national anthem yet. But I am working on it, trust me. This is a win-win. It's really a win for the private sector in the region, and it's a win for the territory. Sun International welcomes the discussion very much with government to work on the reopening of the Pilensburg International Airport. We believe it will deliver meaningful economic and tourist benefits for South Africa. Obviously, from a Sun perspective, it will enhance the access to Sun City, which is, and the Pilensburg game reserve, which you know is employing indirectly and directly 5,000 people just a 5 minutes drive from here. It will also continue to support tourism growth and job creation and regional economic development, and make the province more accessible for other parts of the country and other parts of the world. And if you combine that with the government's recently announced and tested e-visa system, we think we can bring significant new tourism to this region from India, China, and across Southeast Asia, etc. So we think it's have massive benefits and really increase our potential to grow and invest in Sun City. The airport would act as a catalyst for a revitalization of the surrounding areas as well, enabling more tourism-led employment opportunities, supporting businesses across the value chain. Sun International remains committed to invest in the area. We are nearing a 3-year, almost 400 million refurbishment of the Sun City Resort. Last year, Sun City Hotel was completed, refurbishing rooms, pool area, and all our social areas. We further our room refurbishment program and continue to invest to keep the property at a world-class standard at any given time. This initiative from the government gives us renewed confidence to continue to invest in the region and in Sun City. We stand ready to collaborate with government and relevant stakeholders to support sustainable tourism growth and maximize the long-term economic benefits of the reopening of this airport. Thank you very much for listening.
We all were listening. We all heard every word, all the promises and commitments. Thank you so much. Let's move now to item number 5, partnering for inclusive growth in the Northwest. Right about the Northwest, among us, motlotlegi wa rona mopremiri wa Northwest, Mr. Lazarus Mokgosi, re kopa gore o tle go ema morago wa gago ka lefoko premier wa ka. Ke a leboga. Ao galemelle.
Okay. Give me that spot. Look at the now, Program Director, the Mayor of Moses Kotana, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Mr. Macpherson, MEC for Transport Management and Community Safety in the province, MEC Moiloa, the Mayor of Ramotshere, Moiloa, heads of department present, head of ISA, Me Mametse Masemola, officials of Infrastructure South Africa, councillors, the chief whip of the majority party in Moses Kotane Municipality, leaders of faith-based organization, Khosi Mabalane, the deputy chair of the House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders in the Northwest, Bagaitso Dumela Momo Khoteng o seng ka danka sepe. Ra leboga. Program Director, speaking to South Africans during the State of the Nation address, President Ramaphosa Matamela maintained, and I quote, "As we reflect on the state of our nation, we can say that we are stronger today than we were a year ago. Our economy is growing again, and this growth is gathering pace. As the economy grows, the rate of unemployment is starting to decline," unquote. This past Wednesday, Statistics South Africa released the labor force survey for the year 2025 in its 4th quarter. The report painted a positive upward trajectory where unemployment in this country dropped by 0.5% on a year-on-year basis. The Northwest, as a province, on the other hand, recorded the largest official unemployment drop of 6.2% in the country during the aforementioned period. In the last 2 quarters of 2025, we created 42,000 new jobs and 36,000 jobs respectively. Cumulatively, this means we reduced the unemployment rate by 78,000 new jobs in the province. Now this gives credence to President Ramaphosa's assertion that the decline of unemployment in the country and our beloved province is an indication of the positivity of the economy, the positivity of investors, the positivity of the citizens of the country. These statistics did not just fall from the sky, but speak to deliberate policy intervention measures we have employed to address the scourge of unemployed afflicting our developmental objectives. Last year, as a province, we adopted what is called the Growth and Developmental Strategy to reincarnate the provincial economy and create jobs. Therefore, the successive upward trend in our job creation efforts as per quarter 3 and 4 of 2025, it's an indicative of an administration hard at work to turn the tide on a number of socio-economic challenges confronting the communities. Program Director, today marks yet another important milestone on our ongoing efforts to address infrastructure backlog, transform the economy, and consolidate our job creation efforts. I have no doubt that the resuscitation of this airport will have a multiplier effect on both primary and secondary industries in the Moses Kotane local municipality, as well as the Bojanala Platinum District. Let me also take this opportunity and applaud Infrastructure South Africa for deeming it fit to partner with Ramotshere Moiloa local municipality to roll out various developmental programs under the Adopt a Municipality initiative. You are the chosen few in this country. We believe that the implementation of financial recovery plans has assisted the municipality to advance to the sustainability phase, which resulted in the adoption of a funded budget and qualifying for a debt written off by ESCOM. This administrative stability has enabled the municipality to qualify for support from Infrastructure South Africa. We are therefore of the view that as we stabilize more municipalities through our various intervention measures, more infrastructure projects will trickle down to our communities. We are hoping that the cooperation we creating ko Ramotshere, it will be able to isa ditirelo ko baagi. Re gopola gore batho ba rona se ba se batlang fela ke ditirelo. Ga ba batle gape tse dintsi. So re nagana gore tirisano mmogo e setseng le kreile ko masepala. Thus far e re baakanya gore mo re leng teng we will be able to package viable projects, will do proper packaging, will be able to have project delivery implementation plans, will be able to comply with the regulatory framework, because at the end of the day, including what is happening here, will increase the economy of the province, will make the province to be in a position to create more jobs, and at the end of the day, our people will receive the necessary services. Ka kalo ba gaetso ke re leboga minister wa rona Mr. Macpherson. Ga ka a nkisa kwa le kwa ha ke ya ke batla thuso When I said to him, I want you to assist the Northwest to resuscitate the two airports, Mahikeng Airport and this one. And we also said, I want ISA to play a very important role, because it's important that we must present a good business case for investors to come and invest. We are talking billions of money, and therefore you need serious people who are very serious on what they are doing. And therefore, Mr. Macpherson, thank you very much. Tell the president that we appreciate your work. Ra leboga. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seats. I'm appealing to everyone now to listen intensively. Re utlwa gore minister o re tsholetse eng, o re fa eng. Listen intensively. E tle re tsatsi le lengwe re tla be re sewa rona ba botlhefa, mara bangwe bone ba tlile go gopola gore on that day, Minister Macpherson said 1, 2, 3. Minister Macpherson, serala ke sa gago, meaning the podium is now yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here. Let me greet the Premier of the Northwest Province, Premier Mokgosi, MEC for Community Safety and Transport Management, MEC Moroeng, the Ramotshere Moiloa Local Municipality Mayor, Mayor Pitso, the Moses Kotane Municipality Mayor, Mayor Nkotswe, Chief Whips, MMCs and Ward Councillors, the Deputy Chairperson of the Traditional House of Leaders, Mokgosi Mabalane, the Head of Infrastructure South Africa, Ms. Mametse Masemola, and until December last year, it was acting head. Now we've taken the word acting out, and it's just head. I still get excited about that appointment. Municipal managers that are present here, the Chief Executive of Sun International, Mr. Ulrich Benson, members of the media. It's a privilege to stand here today at Pilanesberg Airport, not in a boardroom, but in a conference, and not in a conference center, but here on the site, at the very place that symbolizes both the setbacks that have been faced and the possibilities that lie ahead. Earlier this week, we welcomed news that the construction sector created an additional 35,000 jobs in the fourth quarter of 2025, following the 130,000 jobs created in the previous quarter. That makes construction the second largest job creator in South Africa over the last 6 months. These are not abstract figures, but they represent real livelihoods that have been restored, real families that have been supported, and real dignity that has been returned. They tell us something important. When infrastructure moves, the economy creates jobs. When projects are prepared properly and delivered with discipline, confidence returns. And when governance improves, investment follows. And that is why I'm especially pleased to be in the Northwest today, because what we sign here will help ensure that those job numbers are not temporary, but part of a sustained upward trajectory and momentum that we are building in the country. Standing here at Pilanesberg Airport is deeply symbolic, because in 2023, as many of you know, this airport suffered a devastating fire. The damage was immediate and visible, but so too was the impact on connectivity, tourism flows, and investor confidence. For many, it became a symbol of infrastructure vulnerability. However, today we stand here to begin turning it into a symbol of infrastructure renewal. If you look at the 3D printed render of the redesigned terminal over there, it shows you what this airport will soon become. You're not looking at an artist impression, you're looking at what the future looks like. And it is a beautiful, beautiful future. You're looking at the intention that is backed by planning, backed by structured project preparation, and backed by partnership. That model over there represents arriving flights, it represents cargo coming and going, and it represents new job opportunities. It represents passengers stepping into the Northwest through a modern, functional gateway. And it represents more hotel rooms filling up, local restaurants being booked up, and most importantly, small businesses growing. It represents confidence landing in the Northwest once again. Just 13 minutes from this airport sits Sun City, one of South Africa's flagship tourism destinations and a critical employer in this region. This partnership originated, if I must tell you, from two people. Firstly, when I was at Sun City for a conference, and a chap by the name of Brett, I got a message from my PA that said, "A guy by the name of Brett wants to see you." I said, "What does he do?" He says, "He's the general manager of Sun City." I said, "Okay, he sounds important. I better meet him." So he came and he sat and he had breakfast with me. And he says, "The airport, we really need to try and get it going. We need to try and get it fixed, and we need to try and get it bringing in people into this area." So I said, "Okay, let me have a look and let me talk to some people about it." I then discussed it with someone else, the MEC of Public Works in Northwest, who's a great colleague of mine, MEC Mokgosi, and she said, "This is a really good idea. Let's see how we can explore it and develop it." And if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for their inspiration, we wouldn't be standing here today. So I think they deserve both a round of applause. Another gentleman who also is joining us here today, Mr. Bengston, your presence signals something powerful, that when government commits to enabling infrastructure, the private sector stands ready to invest, expand, and grow alongside it. I must also commend you and Sun International for your willingness to collaborate with us, as well as your persistence to lobby us to support the Northwest and this project. Please let's give Mr. Bengston and Sun International a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, connectivity is not a luxury in the tourism economy. It is the very oxygen of it. When access is easy, demand rises. When access is uncertain, we see it stall. A modernized Pilanesberg Airport strengthens the competitiveness of the Northwest as a destination, not only domestically, but I believe internationally. That's why this memorandum of understanding today is so important. The agreement between the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure through Infrastructure South Africa and the Northwest Provincial Government creates a structured program of project preparation and packaging support for the Northwest Aviation Infrastructure Program in time to come. This is not a rushed rebuild. It is not a cosmetic upgrade. It is a disciplined process to prepare projects properly, to strengthen business cases, to ensure governance standards are met, and to position the airport redevelopment to crowd in blended finance and private participation. One of the biggest barriers to infrastructure delivery in our country is not a shortage of ideas, but it's been weak preparation. Projects that are announced before they're ready. We cut too many ribbons, and then we wonder why those things don't get built. So we must build more, and then we cut the ribbons. That's our new motto. We will cut after. Budgets are often allocated without bankable designs or feasibility studies, and implementation begins without risks being properly assessed. However, we are changing that model. Infrastructure South Africa exists to strengthen preparation, to improve coordination across the spheres, and to ensure that projects entering the pipeline are capable of being delivered. I want to thank Ms. Masemola and the ESA team for the work that they have been doing, not only in the Northwest, but across the country, to professionalize infrastructure planning and move us from aspiration to execution. The Northwest already has 38 infrastructure projects within the ESA pipeline, and that is not insignificant. But pipeline alone does not create jobs. Prepared, funded, and implemented projects create jobs. That is why today's aviation MOU is so important to you and to us. It ensures that Pilanesberg Airport and related aviation assets are not left as dormant plans, but are structured for delivery. And the impact of that delivery will be tangible. Jobs will be created, supply chain opportunities for local businesses, tourism expansion, logistics improvements, and investor confidence will be visible. But today is also not only about aviation infrastructure. The second MOU that we are signing with the Ramotshere local municipality into Infrastructure South Africa's presidential Adopt a Municipality pilot project. When I first conceptualized this idea with the head of ESA, I did so understanding the severe limitations in local government to implement complex infrastructure projects while also understanding the incredible difference they can make in communities across the country. I used to be a councillor, by the way, so I know I'm one of you. This program was then taken to and approved by the Presidential Infrastructure Coordinating Commission because we must confront a hard truth. Too many municipalities struggle to translate budgets into functioning infrastructure. When water does not flow, when sewage systems fail, when electricity networks collapse, the consequences are immediate. Service delivery is where trust in government is either strengthened or eroded. And this program is about strengthening the capacity of municipalities to plan, package, fund, and implement infrastructure properly. Over the next 24 months, the municipality will receive targeted technical support focused on water and sanitation, electricity and energy, and waste management. The aim is not to take over the municipality's responsibility, but to strengthen delivery capability so that the projects are completed, the assets are maintained, and services improve. 7 priority projects have already been identified, projects that residents will recognize and feel. The intervention is rooted and structured using the 5-case model methodology, and that means that projects must demonstrate strategic alignment, economic value, commercial viability, financial sustainability, and delivery before implementation begins. This may sound technical, but it's in fact simple. It means fewer stalled projects, fewer incomplete sites, and more infrastructure that works. For a province of roughly 3.8 million people and unemployment of nearly 40%, this matters enormously. When we improve local infrastructure reliability, we do more than fix pipes. We create an environment where businesses can operate confidently and employ people. The 35,000 construction jobs created in the fourth quarter, as I mentioned earlier, did not happen by accident. It happened because of the target interventions we have been leading nationally and provincially. But we will not rely on momentum alone. We must deepen it. And the MOU signed here today will help ensure that construction remains a major job creator in South Africa, not as a temporary rebound, but as a sustained engine for growth. Because when infrastructure delivery accelerates in provinces like the Northwest, the national numbers will follow. Premier, I want to thank you again for your leadership and partnership. He has harassed me also to come here, phoned me constantly. Minister, when are we doing this? When are we doing this? And when the first municipality fell through, We tasked him and we said, these are the criteria we need, bring us the municipality. And he took responsibility for that. These agreements today signal that the Northwest is serious about collaboration and serious about unlocking growth. To the officials and teams of the province, municipality, and my department, thank you so much. Preparation is not glamorous. It requires detail, coordination, and discipline. But without it, we will fail. To ISA, thank you for your continuation to raise the standard of project preparation and for never taking shortcuts. Sometimes they are unpopular because they say no. But our credibility in the market is non-negotiable. The professionalism that you bring, Mametse, and your team is essential to ensuring that credibility and investment follow. Standing here today at an airport that burned down 3 years ago and looking at this 3D model that you see on the stage shows what it will soon become, we are reminded of something simple, that infrastructure decline is not a destiny. With leadership, participation, and discipline, it can be reversed. And soon, aircraft will be landing here in this airport. Passengers will step into a facility designed for efficiency and growth, and I think it will look really nice. The Northwest will be more connected than it's ever been before, and more economic growth will follow. And alongside that, communities in our local municipalities will begin to see the benefits of improved water systems, strengthened electricity infrastructure, and better waste management. This is how we turn the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure into an economic delivery unit in South Africa. Not through slogans, not through only through delivery. The message from Pilanesberg is clear. Partnerships deliver results that create jobs and grow our economy. And as we build here, we contribute to a broader national mission, and that is turning South Africa into a construction site once more, where opportunity is visible, jobs are created, and infrastructure becomes the platform for growth it was always meant to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Program Director, Minister Macpherson, Premier Mokgosi, our colleagues that are supporting us here today. I don't see the Premier. We are meant to now sign the MOUs, and he's not in the room. Okay. All right. Then perhaps we start with but he should be here for all of them. Okay, we'll just wait. Colleagues, while we wait for the Premier, I'll just ask that Kgoshi Mabalane and the Mayor from Moses Kotane, please just take your seats to step back. If we can just have at the table the Premier and the Minister, just take your seat back as well, yeah. We'll bring it back to the front. Sorry, it's just a bit of musical chairs. It's just for the, even you, Mayor, yeah, like that. Okay. Okay, thanks, colleagues. We'll be signing the first MOU. I will just read the citation, and just to indicate that the person helping me here is Nobile Dinge. She is, in fact, our provincial lead for the Northwest. So the first MOU we are signing is called the Northwest Aviation Infrastructure Program MOU. It is signed between the Northwest Provincial Government and Infrastructure South Africa. And this MOU records the planned collaboration between the two parties relating to project preparation and packaging for the Northwest Aviation Infrastructure Program. The purpose of this MOU is to establish a working relationship between us and to set out the framework for Infrastructure South Africa's provision of project preparation and packaging support to the Northwest Provincial Government in respect of the Pilanesberg International Airport. So the people signing on behalf of Infrastructure South Africa is Minister Macpherson. The person signing on behalf of the Northwest Provincial Government is the Premier. Nqobile, if you can please just hand over the MOUs. Okay, so you will sign your part and then you will exchange with each other to sign the other parts, colleagues. Thank you. Please swap the MOUs. We will fill in the detail, Premier. Yeah. Let's give the Premier and the Minister a round of applause. If we can have you stand up, shake hands. Members of the media, let's come for the photo opportunity. Wonderful, thank you. If we can please, Premier, if you can just scoot over to, yes, closer this side, yeah. Minister, just come to the middle. All right, and then yourself, please, Mayor of Ramotshere. So, I also want to work at Ramotshere Municipality because there's so much vibe. Okay, I will read just the brief description of this MOU. This MOU is called the Presidential Adopt a Municipality Pilot Program for Ramotshere Local Municipality. This MOU between ISA and Ramotshere is concluded under the Presidential Adopt a Municipality Pilot Program, through which the municipality has been selected as one of the pilot participants for the implementation of priority infrastructure projects. The purpose of the MOU is to provide technical assistance to the municipality to support project preparation, planning, packaging, and implementation readiness, including assistance to source and mobilize funding, as well as to monitor the implementation of the identified infrastructure program, with all such support being facilitated through Infrastructure South Africa. The partnership aims to enhance municipal infrastructure for sustainable service delivery by strengthening institutional readiness, accelerating the implementation of priority infrastructure, and mobilizing alternative funding and public-private partnership models. The collaboration focuses on key sectors, including water and sanitation, electricity and energy, as well as waste management. Signing on behalf of Infrastructure South Africa is the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Signing on behalf of Ramotshere Local Municipality is Mayor Dinah. If we can please hand over the MOUs. Thank you very much. Let's please swap the MOUs. The mayor will initial the pages later on. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Members of the media, okay, let's stand for the photo opportunity. The Premier is part of the photo because this is his province, so he's very much part of this. Yeah. Thank you very much, colleagues. Thank you very much, members of the media. Maybe a last round of applause for everyone that participated here today. Colleagues will be aware that the next part is meant to be a media interaction, but I'm going to use my executive power on this podium to say that let's rather have Hoshi Mabalane do the vote of thanks, and then we'll call members of the media to come closer to the presidium to take interviews once people are dispersing. Let's do it in that way so that we don't hold our colleagues at ransom. So over to you, Hoshi Mabalane, for your vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director Motlotlegi Majoro wa rona Menkotso re lebogela tsamaiso ya tiro entle. Minister Macpherson, we are very proud to have you in our province, and we hope this is not the last time that we see you and your team. We are very acknowledged and appreciative of your province. Premier angabe se ka wena angabe re se ka kwano ke leboga go menagane. Head of ISA Memasemola, you are gravely acknowledged. MEC vessels Morweng, ba ba tsamayang le Mayor Mankotso, MMC Motsabi le MMC Moate ra leboga. Mayor Pitso, ke bona delegation na gago gona delegation e excited ya ka lona kopa le ipheng matsogo gape. Bo botlhe ba tlotlegi media le delegation e tsotlhe tsa bo tlotlegi, all the partners. But maybe before I conclude, on behalf of the Northwest Provincial House of Traditional Leaders in Khoisan, we welcome this commitment and to partner and collaborate on this catalytic aviation project. Aviation is a vital driver of South Africa's economy, contributing over 24 billion, and this is a fact, it's proven, in supporting over 472,000 jobs throughout direct and indirect tourism related to employment. In the Northwest Province, aviation facilities, tourism, access to key destinations, while strategic initiatives such as the route development marketing strategies aim to enhance regional connectivity, economic growth, and job creation. Aviation is critical to tourism in our province, providing essential accessibility to major leisure destinations as Sun City, Madikwe Game Reserve, and Pilanesberg in its entirety. Through roughly 19 licensed and registered aerodromes in this sector, facilitates both international charters and regional tourism supporting local economic growth and employment. We gravely look forward to this successful execution of this project with all stakeholders, which are certain we will contribute positively toward GDP of the Northwest Province and aid economic emancipation of the citizens of the province. But last and not least, strategically this was to link Sun City, Pilanesberg as its entirety. So I would be serving injustice if I didn't acknowledge the CEO of Sun International, Mr. Bankston, and Brett Hop, who provide us with the utmost hospitality at Africa's Kingdom of Pleasure. Keep on the good work. Ke lebogile bagaetsho, a pula e re nele.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our formal program. I'm going to ask that we call the Premier back and allow members of the media to come to the front if you wish to ask any specific questions to members of the media. But for everyone else, refreshments are available in the hangar to my left, the side. Yes. But colleagues, if you could please, and I think maybe the CEO of Sun International can also join. The Presidium, Mametsi, I think also come. Yes.